This is a paid request for Brendan. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting pretty much any type of reviews or topics, reactions, commentaries, randomness, out of the blueness, pretty much any type of video, feel free to send either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links down below in the info box. Fucking vodka for this, man. I hate this fucking movie, man. Blade Trinity. Yeah, the Trinity. The Trinity that one can suck my balls, one can suck my dick, and one can eat my ass. There's the fucking Blade Trinity. There's the Trinity of suckitude. Or one can suck my left ball, one can suck my left ball, one can suck the thing in the middle. Gold-plated and all. Right in your fucking mouth, movie. Have some creamy goodness. Have some cream and hot sauce. God, this movie... I love Blade and Blade 2. Blade 2 is my favorite. A lot of people give Blade 2 crap. I don't get why. I never will understand why. I think Blade 2 is awesome. Blade kicking ass. In the name of the game. Ron Perlman. Guillermo del Toro making like more of a monster movie. It just, both films rock. This film... I know there's a lot of issues with the production. David Goyer directs this time. He helped write the first two films. David Goyer is not a good director. Whether it be The Unborn, The Invisible, even later on, his writing work, working with Zack Snyder, Man of Steel. David Goyer is the same guy that, and you can find this on the internet, he did a Q&A with people, and he asked them, who here in the audience have you heard of Martian Manhunter? Alright, for those who raise your hand. Which of you have ever been laid? And this is a guy writing comic book movies. He also said that the reason She-Hulk was created was so that the Hulk had someone to fuck. In case you don't know, She-Hulk and the Hulk are related, so I don't know. Maybe that's how it works where David Goyer comes from. I don't know. Shows how much of a fucking idiot he is. And this shows even more how much of a fucking idiot he is. I have to be fair though. It sounds like Wesley Snipes didn't do himself any favors. I can understand going to the project, looking at it and going, wait a minute. It feels like I'm being pushed aside for Ryan Reynolds and Jessica Biel. Because you want them to do a spin-off movie. Night Stalkers spin-off movie. So this is like more of a setup for that and less of a Blade movie. I don't understand Blade. I understand Wesley Snipes being pissed. But at the same time, when you hear so many bits of story about what Wesley Snipes did, it comes to a point you have to think some of that was true. Was everything true? I don't know. But I have to think some of it was true. Because we know how a lot of actors deal with egos. When they feel like they're king of the world, that you do no wrong. I love Van Damme, but he's done that. I love Stallone, he's done that. A lot of people have done it. Whether it be Patton Oswalt, who was on the film saying that Wesley Snipes would go in his trailer and smoke weed the entire day. Whether because he did not want David Goyer as a director. Which is weird for the animosity because the two of them share a commentary on Blade 2, the DVD. If you watch the DVD Blade 2, they're in the same room doing a commentary together. So the animosity was, at least from Wesley Snipes' point of view, seemed a bit weird. But it's like, well, I didn't get director approval, but I'm a producer. Well, okay, but this is still a guy you've seemed to be chatty with on a commentary on Blade 2. But anyway. I do think David Goyer was the wrong director. I think the story here is lame. Dracula sucks. He's one of the worst fucking Draculas I've ever seen in a movie. He's up there with the Dracula from Van Helsing. The musical score is lame. Doesn't get any adrenaline pumping. Ryan Reynolds and Jessica Biel maybe could have worked in their own film. Maybe. But here... Ryan Reynolds this is like a precursor to Deadpool. It's like he's being that smart ass, but he has not found his foot on the right step yet. He's trying, he's fishing for air, he's fishing for jokes to work, and instead he's saying lines like, take a sugar frosted fuck on the end of my dick. Or her fangs are located in her vagina. And they just, either the jokes got better or they just fit better in the realm of Deadpool. And here's the thing is that, well, before I get into that, the stuff with Wesley Snipes. They were saying that he was pissed at the director, he would not talk to Ryan Reynolds. There's talk that he called Ryan Reynolds cracker. Like, you tell that cracker, stay out of my line of sight. But oh, that's not true. But anytime, look it up. Ryan Reynolds, if he's ever asked about this, you could tell that he did not have a good experience on that film. And he never blinked. Think about it, he never makes fun of Blade Trinity. He'll make fun of Green Lantern, X-Men Origins Wolverine. He will never... For a guy in Deadpool makes fun of his movies, he never brings up Blade Trinity. So and then again, a few interviews, if it's brought up, like there was some interview, I forget who it was, hey, you know, if you ever do another Blade film, you think you'd ever, and Ryan Reynolds just starts doing this. Like before the person finishes the question. And, I mean, between the two, Ryan Reynolds seems like the guy who would get along with a lot more people. I think maybe Wesley Snipes at that time, like a lot of people, fed off their own ego. So again, I give a lot of blame to David Goyer, but I gotta give some blame to Wesley Snipes as well, to be fair. I mean, I still hate what happened to Wesley Snipes' career. I still think the tax evasion stuff was bullshit, because there are people that have touched little kids, like Victor Salva, director of Jeepers Creepers 1 and 2, who served less time than Wesley Snipes did for tax evasion. And so when people go, well, why do you get so mad at Victor Salvio? He served his time. No, he didn't. That's not serving time. What was it, 90 days? Serving time for that? That's my ass. Wesley Snipes served years. Fucking years. Good chunk of his mainstream career cut short. Now, granted, again, before that, ego was hurting him. It hurts a lot of celebrities. You know, difficult to work with. I mean, stories of Mickey Rourke being difficult to work with, stories of Edward Norton being difficult to work with, that can really hurt your career. Steven Seagal, of course. I'm sure after prison he got a lot of humble pie that he ate. But anyway, getting to this film here. I wasn't there. I wasn't a fly on the wall. Maybe this is a fact that everybody had their own little fuck-ups that added up to a clusterfuck called Blade Trinity. Came out 2004, didn't do well, killed the franchise, and now they're rebooting it with this stupid fucking guy as Blade that, like, I give a shit about Mahershala Ali and a PG-13 Blade? I've heard it'll be PG-13. Maybe it'll change. Maybe it'll change, but I've heard. Hey, maybe it'll change. Although, even if it's R-rated, does that automatically make it good? No. It's just if it's PG-13, it'll just make it even more laughable. So I'm like, you know what? Please be PG-13, so I can laugh in your fucking face more, movie. Give me more ammo. Give me fuel. Give me fire. Give me what I desire. Ooh. And to this film, Blade did not need a fucking team. No one was looking to a Blade film saying he needs a team. Especially when you already fucking did that with the previous film. Blade 2 already did that. Blade 2 had the Blood Pact. Ron Perlman and these vampires that were brought together to fight Blade, but now they got joined together to fight this other monster, or group of monsters that are worse than Blade, and worse than the vampires. And that made it more interesting. Number one, you had Ron Perlman and Wesley Snipes working off each other. Number two, you had Guillermo del Toro, who's got style and flavor to his action scenes and kinetic energy. You had the weird body horror aspects in certain circumstances. But as a team, as Blade worked with them, but not be able to trust them and being cautious, and he knew these guys would fuck him over every step of the way. Like when Ron Perlman has the gun on him, but then Wesley Snipes has it on him too. Ron Perlman fucked with him, saying, "Do you blush?" And then later on with Wesley Snipes, "Do you blush?" Kick-ass fucking action scenes. You didn't need a team. You didn't need a team for this. So, Blade is saddled with a team that I don't think the audience really wanted to see. Again, the previous film, he already had a team. And again, because of the dynamics that made it more interesting. Yes, there were, if you read some of the Blade comics, some of that is injected into it. But I just don't think this version of Blade, people they want to see Blade. If you don't have these two, maybe if it was better written, maybe it was a more interesting story, maybe if it was a director that had style. Because Stephen Norrington had a bit of style. I noticed that when I saw his first film, Death Machine, and then going to Blade. Guillermo del Toro definitely has style. David Goyer has no style. I don't think he doesn't have as much talent as he thinks he does, but he has no style. And the story, okay, Dracula. Maybe Dracula could work against Blade. But then you get this guy, Dominic Purcell, and his deep voice. Blade, ready to die. He was boring as shit. He had no charisma. He had no presence. The fight scene sucked. The sword fight scene at the end sucked. Compared to the fights at the end, I mean, the beginning action scene is okay, where Blade's fighting some people, doing a little bit of knife work, a little bit of action scene with a car, but nowhere near as exciting as the first two films' opening. And that's where you knew, with this very lukewarm music, like you listen to the score, the musical score, boom, 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 boom. I'm like, we're going from down, 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 and the first Blade to boom, 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 boom. And the opening of this, what the fuck is this shit? What's this shitty score? I don't mind a couple of the songs. Weapons of Mad Distortion, the Crystal Method. I don't mind that song. But then even in the action scenes, either they're a bit choppy, or at least choppier than the first two, or just not nearly satisfying in the slightest. So you have our other villains who are cartoonish as hell. Parker Posey, Triple H. And that was the other thing. Brendan mentioned that one of his dear friends is a fan of Triple H. Teach their own, but I always hated Triple H. Nipple H, Preparation H, because it makes my ass itch. Fuck Triple H. I never liked him as Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Never liked him as Triple H. He's a fucking nipplehead. Not really, but I never liked him. I thought he was I agree with Bret the Hitman Hart. It's a 4 out of 10. 4 out of 10 on everything. 4 out of 10 wrestler. 4 out of 10 promo. His matches felt the same, and they were very fucking boring. And the only thing people remember is he comes out in stupid outfits like he wanted to be a wannabe Conan the Barbarian, or the one WrestleMania came out with fucking Terminator heads. Because a new Terminator film was coming out, and I got Terminator heads. Look how badass I am, and oh, I'm Conan. Whatever. Fuck your outfits. Looks stupid. Ooh, I'm the game, but my promos sound the same. Fuck. The reason DX went is because, they like Shawn Michaels and you guys were goofy. D-Generation X. They're the people involved as well with that. I just never like, and he don't care for him as an actor either. He's a wrestler. He's no Roddy Piper. He's no Macho Man. He's no Dwayne Johnson. There's a lot better wrestlers who also became better actors. Jessica Biel, I don't mind. She's fine here. I think she just... the script falters her. Because, okay, she's the daughter of Whistler, and I liked her in the 2003 Texas Chainsaw Massacre film. Here, again, maybe if you just have a film with her and Ryan Reynolds and they're doing whatever, maybe they could work. But I didn't give a shit about her fucking bow. One fucking female Hawkeye. Right, this is before the Marvel movies, but I'm just saying, there was Hawkeye in the comics. But anyway, just because it's bow and arrow doesn't mean it's Hawkeye. I mean, Rambo uses... I don't know, just to Biel, I mean, she's the least of this film's worries, to be fair. But you just watch this film and just ask yourself, hey, David Goyer, you wrote and directed this. Did you really think the audience wanted to see Blade? What does he do for a good chunk of the film? He gets arrested by police officers. And he's holed up in a police station. And he's tied up. And he's talked to by this guy. Interrogated by this guy. Interrogated by the vampires. Whistler. Kris Kristofferson. Why the fuck do you bring this character back to life in the second film to just kill him off in the third film? That just doesn't make sense. Like, you went out of your way to bring him back in the second film, which was cool, because Kris Kristofferson is a good actor. He did a great job as Whistler. My favorite part is in Blade 2. Like, when he's talking to Ron Perlman, some of us can't see in the fucking dark. Some of us can't see in the dark, you fucking nipplehead. He called Ron Perlman that. Like, Kris was great. He was awesome. He was cool. And then they just kill him off in this one. What the fuck was the point? Like, wow, all that stuff to get him alive. We'll just kill him off. It was so stupid. It was counterproductive. They did that because, Blade, you don't be alone. Well, you're not alone now. Because you're now a Trinity. They didn't even last at the end of the film because Blade, the whole ending is a fucking mess too, which I'll get to. He's all by himself again anyway. So you kill Whistler even though you brought him back. The great bit of him being arrested by cops. Because now the vampires set him up to actually kill a human. But I'm thinking, you tell me by this point Blade has never killed a human? Who has worked with the vampires, I should say? You tell me that he says he's killed over 1,000 vampires. You tell me now one of those times? Fuck, in the first Blade, you had cops literally shooting the shit out of his chest. You out of your fucking mind? You lost your damn mind? When the cops have already been after him, hey, this suspect in this hospital took this lady, got shot, maybe he had body armor. What does he look like? Here's a sketch. And I'm sure there were multiple times he had to be chased by the cops. But now, we framed him. Wouldn't the cops be after him already? Wouldn't he be in hiding already? Wouldn't they have to be off the grid anyway? Like in the first 1998 film, he was in a hospital and cops shot at him and he escaped. Whatever. Dracula is bland. At times he comes off as a pansy. And I went, why is he such a formidable foe? Just because, sunlight doesn't affect him. He can look like other people, but he only does that whenever he feels like it. But he just was such a step down from Steven Dorff, acting-wise. And he was such a step down from Blade 2's villains, formidable-wise. The villains in Blade 2 felt a lot more of a threat. This infection, this virus, and all these monsters with the crazy mouth. That felt a lot more dire circumstance than this fucking Dracula. And like I said, the villains are cartoonish. Ryan Reynolds and Jessica Biel help Blade escape. They go out of a police station. They leave. I don't know why no cops chase after them. There were cops outside, and a person's like, "Hey, get in the van." Why no cops chase after him, I don't fucking know. Maybe you didn't tell me. Because there were cops outside ready to shoot him. And they just escaped the fucking police station, but whatever. And then, Triple H got a fucking arrow in his eye, so Nipple H pulls it out. They're just cartoonish. And Ryan Reynolds, I like Ryan Reynolds. This was the early days after Van Wilder. It felt like he was finding his footing, like I said before. That he's saying these lines, but either his miserable experience and showed on screen. You watch him, he doesn't have the same twinkle in his eye like when he does wise ass nowadays. Like, he'll say it, but it's like he doesn't really believe it. He'll say it, but it just, there's something, maybe because he was, I don't know. No one wants to give more details as to what truly happened. Was there something Wesley Snipes said to him, or whatever? And they're just bad lines, too. Her fangs are located in her vagina. I was always more of a David Hasselhoff fan. And he had no chemistry with Wesley Snipes, probably for a reason. Just what happened. And Blade does feel like he takes a back seat. Because we're with, Parker Posey, Nipple H, and Dracula. We're with Ryan Reynolds, and he used to be a guy of a vampire, but then he was tiered, and he just reveals he's the daughter of Whistler. What else is in this film? There's the Blood Farm, which I know David Goyer wanted that in the previous films. If you watch the deleted scene of Blade 1, like the DVD, I don't know if it's on the Blu-ray, but there's like deleted concepts, and one of them was the Blood Farm, so David Goyer finally got that into the movie. You know what? I saw that done better in that Blade the Animated Series, that episode. Episode 1. And it just, Ryan Reynolds and Jessica Biel are with this other group, and the group is lame. Like the Patton Oswalt, some guy, some blind girl, some little girl. Didn't give a fuck. Plus, it doesn't matter. They get killed like 20 minutes later anyway, most of them. And Ryan Reynolds gets taken. The little girl gets taken. Ryan Reynolds says stuff like I said, "Take a sugar frosted fuck on the end of my dick." There's a fucking vampire Pomeranian dog. This is what I want in the Blade film. Vampire Pomeranians. What's that? Vampire monkeys? Vampire orangutans? Hey, Clyde. Turn right, Clyde. Bite this fucker, Clyde. What's next? Vampire mice? Vampire weasels? Played by Pauly Shore? Vampire Pomeranians. That's what we got in a Blade film. Where we seen Blade, kicking ass, taking names. Vampire dogs, vampire Pomeranians. Jesus Christ. And Wesley Snipes looks bored. Probably just, again, all this shit going on. He looks bored in this movie. He seems bored in this movie. Sometimes I wonder if certain scenes are just stand-ins of him or other stuff. There's nothing to the character. In the first film, you have bits of the character where his mom, what happened with his mom, he has to deal with certain circumstances in the finale of Blade 1 that delves a bit more into the character and his relationship with Whistler as well. There's other formats of the character of Blade. In Blade 2, is he don't fall in love with this woman who's a vampire, but they're enemies? Or is it just more honor, respect? And then Whistler coming back and he's alive, but do I trust him? Keep my friends close, my enemies closer. And you find out why that is by Norman Reedus, actually. His character. Do you friend that's Norman Reedus? But you did a good job. Like, that stuff works better. I mean, you have Blade. Here, he has nothing to do or say or think or feel or anything until a half-assed fight scene happens. And even the fight scenes, you get when they escape from the beginning of the film, when they escape from the police station, is the worst ever. No. I mean, it's not like it's fucking Steel with Shaquille O'Neal fighting. But such a step down from the previous two films. A step down. Again, why does Blade need a team? He already kind of had a team in the previous film. Fuck, I mean, I would rather have them combine with fucking Underworld and have him and Kate Beckinsale do a movie together. And be a part Blade, part almost say Equilibrium. That'd be cool too. Blade Underworld crossover. I would rather see that than this. And get a different director. Get a, I don't know, 2004. I don't know, it'd be a good director. Yeah, I don't know. I had to think about it. But, and then the fight scenes seem choppier. And then, like, the finale is like Wesley Snipes fighting. And you don't have that just impact. Even when finally, a cool song from the Crystal Method. It'll go back to, like, Ryan Reynolds having this slow fist fight with Triple H, and it's this, 20 and slow, and I get it, because at this point Ryan Reynolds' character is not a martial arts maestro, but it's just, the one line I liked is when the fucking dumbass Dracula, "Are you ready to die? I was born ready, motherfucker." That's like the one line I liked in the movie from Blade. I was born ready, motherfucker. And then it's like the sword fight shitty. And then, you know what? Dracula kind of looked better as the creature with the armor. I know some people don't like that. I think it looked better as that than as Dominic Purcell. But the fight scene wasn't much, and then you get really shitty CGI when there's a point where Blade hits Dracula. He's like, ooh, it flies through the glass, and then they both shoot each other, jump at each other as if it's, I don't know, fucking Star Wars prequel. It's just really bad CG. Ryan Reynolds kills Triple H. Jessica Biel and Blade fuck up Dracula. I think Dracula seemed more of a pansy than usual. And the ending is just this Dracula is about honor. You fought honorably, so I don't give you a gift. But remember, the thirst always wins. So I guess Blade escaped and Dracula pretended to be Blade. See, there are different endings. There's one ending where, I mean, it's like Blade went crazy and he's killing people, or he's ready to kill people, or he's staring down at a woman and did he kill her, did he not kill her? All these fucking endings they try to make up if you watch the special features and even within the film itself, all combined. I'm like, just trying to make it like, hey, even if you kill all the vampires, you're still a threat because you are part vampire and you could, you know. But the way it is in this is, in the movie, in the version I saw, the person on the table, it's Dominic Purcell, Dracula. He pretended to be Blade so Blade can get away. They cart the body of Blade, but it's really Dracula. And Ryan Reynolds gives his boring narration that, you know, he's still out there and he's fighting the fight. And yeah, one of the other endings is that it was Blade and that coroner office, whatever. And then he's like going crazy, and then you think, did he or did he not kill this woman? And then he drives off. I'm like, both these endings suck. They fucking suck. Boring, unsatisfying, and just... It's sad that tainted this franchise. It tainted it. It didn't do that well at the box office. It did a lot less critical-wise than the previous two. I wasn't the only one that was bummed out by this movie. And, you know, then on top of that, they'll touch shit and the behind-the-scenes struggles and Wesley Snipes suing people because, oh, I didn't get this, I didn't get that, I didn't get director approval. All the stories about him being hard to work with. Again, this film not making that much of a profit compared to the first two. A lot of that hurt his career. I would almost say killed his career. Mainstream-wise, it did for a bit. And then the Tax Evasion kind of killed the rest of it. And other than like Expendables 3 and some direct-to-video stuff, hasn't really been in a whole lot. Well, some Eddie Murphy films. Dolomite Is My Name, he was good in that. I like Wesley Snipes, but bad decisions and bad calls hurt it combined. So, with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.